to start by just defining what the New Age movement is, and I think that'll be helpful for everybody just to go through a few slides to get us all on the same page. There's lots of definitions for New Age and New Age philosophy, and it's now been around several decades, but I'll do my best to get you the definition that I think fits the bill. First of all, a couple of scriptures to get us started. 1 Chronicles 12:32. This one talks about the men of Issachar. They were the smallest of the 12 tribes of Israel, the one that we know the least about, the one that is written about the least. But if I'd have been King David, these guys would have been my board of directors. It says, "And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do." They understood the times, and they knew what to do. That's what we all need to be today. People who understand the times that we live in and then know how to respond to it. That's a model, I believe, for us to live by. And if we see these things going on in the culture, such as we're going to talk about this evening, we need to be able to have responses for it that are correct and, of course, biblical, and that line up with the love of Jesus Christ, yet with the gospel. New Age or not, what difference does it make? I hope that you'll all understand when we're finished here that it makes a lot of difference who leads us, their spiritual ideas, the things they've endeared themselves to in the spirit realm, the things they've said. And this isn't something new for Mrs. And this is not about Democrat or Republican or anything else. I'd say the same things if this was a Republican that was endearing themselves to the things that I'm about to talk about. I would give you the same information, so it doesn't have anything to do with that. But it has to do with, do we want someone with these values to be in the White House? And this is completely separate from the whole email server problem, and did she use a private server to send classified emails, and so on and so on. We, of course, know that happened. They have the goods on that. We don't know how far that's going to go at the making of this particular DVD. We don't know how far that's going to go. But we certainly know that it's going to be a concern, and this is a concern as well. So Hillary Clinton's spiritual odyssey, Methodism, Islam or Muslim, Marxism, and mysticism. And I'll explain all that as we go along about those four different things. Back in October of 1994, Mrs. Clinton told Newsweek magazine that she was an old-fashioned Methodist. That was her quote, that she's an old-fashioned Methodist. And then she identifies that God is both male and female, or he and she, as that was written in Newsweek. And then she describes the liberal Methodist church that she and Bill Clinton were a part of in Washington, D.C., a very historic church, may I say, as well, highlighting the seating arrangements of the homosexual couples as in the front. You know, to say that those beliefs are old-fashioned Methodism would certainly make John and Charles Wesley to roll over in their graves, no doubt about it. In that same Newsweek magazine article in 1994, she said that she was wrongfully being pegged as a New Ager. I'm not sure what else we would think from some of the things that she was endeared to then and has continued to follow along with. So she doesn't want to be called a New Ager. Rather wants to be referred to as an old-fashioned Methodist, but what she's doing is anything but that. In those days, Hillary claimed on several occasions that she was having spiritual communication with now deceased former First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt. You remember that her husband was president during World War II. So she says she's talking to Eleanor Roosevelt. And what substantiation do we have for that? Well, we'll get into that. We're going to tell you. USA Today reported that.